I was standing in the aisle at Fred Mayer in Spokane, flipping a candle lid to sniff it when my phone buzzed. "You're not invited to the wedding. Goodbye, loser." That was from Brielle, my only sister. And below that, my mom, Cheryl, responded with nothing but a heart emoji. A goddamn heart. I stood frozen between trail mix and gluten-free crackers, holding a lemon verbena candle that suddenly smelled like betrayal. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a hack. It was a message, loud, cruel, final. By the time I got to my car, they were already joking in the wedding group chat like nothing happened. Brielle posted a TikTok of a laughing bride. Mom replied, "So true, queen." Dad dropped, "Finally, no drama." That's when it hit me. They weren't just excluding me. They were erasing me. But they forgot one thing: I paid for that wedding. Every flower, every canapé, every custom wax seal on those $900 invitations. So I did what they never expected. I took it all back. Just before we go deeper, what would you have done? Drop a comment with your city and tell me, would you have paid or walked away? And don't forget to like and subscribe if you love real stories with real karma. I didn't respond that night. Instead, I got out my receipts. And I mean literal categorized receipts. The venue deposit, my Amex, dress alterations, my checking, caterer florals, custom neon sign that said the Parkers forever, all me. When I said, "Perfect. Then I'll remove my payments from the account," they laughed. Brielle sent a gif of someone making it rain. Mom replied, "Don't be dramatic, hun." Dad tossed in a thumbs-up emoji. They thought I was bluffing. By 11:03 a.m. the next morning, the entire wedding was scorched earth. Venue canceled, florist canceled, dress boutique put on legal hold. By noon, Brielle texted, "WTF did you do?" I didn't answer. That's when they panicked. Mom called me unstable. Brielle threatened to tell everyone what you did to Caleb. Who's Caleb? My ex. A guy I dumped after finding his Snapchat filled with feet pics, not mine, by the way. Then came the threat. "You have 1 hour to fix this, or I'll tell everyone what you did." I laughed, because Brielle had finally realized, you can't cut out the bank and keep the benefits. The days that followed were quiet, eerily so. Then word got around Spokane. Aunt Margie called me from her car, whispering like she was leaking Pentagon secrets. "She's telling everyone you had a breakdown, that you're jealous, that you sabotaged her wedding." I told her the truth, that I canceled everything, that I wasn't sorry. She said one sentence I'll never forget. "Well, good for you." It snowballed. Cousins started texting me. A bridesmaid begged me to be the bigger person. Brielle's fiancé, Jason, apparently was considering calling the whole thing off. He told one of the groomsmen, "If this is what marrying into her family looks like, maybe I need to rethink this." By the next week, I started getting Venmo requests. $7,900, then another. Same amount, no message, no explanation. Like I was a wedding donor who missed the deadline. I declined, twice. And then I blocked her. That's when I felt it, that snap, that shift. They finally knew I wasn't coming back. 2 days before the wedding that wasn't going to happen, my mom, Cheryl, showed up at my apartment. No text, no call, just ding-dong like we were still on speaking terms. I didn't open the door. I watched her through the peephole while she stood there in a peach cardigan, clutching a manila folder like it was a peace offering. After 10 minutes and 2 more rings, she left. 10 minutes later, a text. "Please just talk to us, this can still be fixed." Fixed? They kicked me out of the family group chat like I was trash, laughed about it, took my money, and now they wanted to fix it? No, they could keep their broken little fantasy. That night, I got a call from the wedding venue manager, Nancy. "Someone just called pretending to be your assistant," she said, her voice sharp. "Tried to reinstate the booking and charge it to your card." My stomach dropped. She said when they asked for ID and authorization over email, the person hung up. She flagged the file and sent me a copy of the call log. The number, Cheryl's cell. They weren't just begging now, they were stealing. Trying to commit credit card fraud using my name. And for what? A wedding that had already turned to ashes. The next morning, Jason, Brielle's fiancé, moved out. A groomsman told me he packed his duffel bag and said, "I'm not starting a marriage based on a lie. This family's a red flag." Later that day, Brielle came to my apartment. She looked hollow, hair frizzy, no makeup, hoodie swallowing her frame. I almost didn't open the door. But then I saw what she was holding. A plastic grocery bag filled with documents. Inside, every receipt I'd ever written a check for, the dress, the food, the non-refundable lighting setup. She whispered, "Mom told me they'd covered this, that you offered because you were lonely." Her hands trembled. "I didn't know," she said. "I swear I didn't know." That's when I realized she'd been used too. We sat in silence. She asked, "Are you happy now?" I said, "No," because I didn't want revenge, I wanted respect. But Cheryl couldn't handle that. Later that night at 2:07 a.m., I got a text from her. "You'll regret what you started." No heart emoji this time, just pure venom. The day the wedding should have happened, I met Brielle at a neutral diner. She asked for one last thing, not a gift, but a loan. Just enough for a courthouse ceremony. Jason had come back, but only if they kept it small and drama-free. I agreed, but not without terms. I wrote a full legal loan agreement that night, monthly payments, interest, consequences. She signed every page without a word. No snark, no thanks, just silence. The next day they got married in a Spokane courthouse. No flowers, no guests, just two people trying to salvage something in the wreckage. Then came the celebration dinner. A thrown-together RSVP email at some overpriced restaurant downtown. I declined, but I sent a gift, wrapped in silver paper with a white satin bow. Inside, a framed printout of the original venue deposit. Taped to the back, the full loan agreement. Amanda's signature highlighted. Interest rate circled. First payment due date underlined. It looked like a wedding announcement, until you read it. Want to know what happened next? Someone filmed her opening it. The room went silent. A wine glass shattered. One aunt gasped, "Oh my God." That video, it never hit the internet. But it circulated in family chats, back-channel messages, DM screenshots. I became the story. The legend. The one who sent the receipt. A week after the courthouse ceremony, my phone vibrated with a direct deposit. $237.65 right on time. No note, no emojis, no thank you. Just quiet repayment from Brielle, like clockwork. Every third of the month after that, the payment came through. Silent, steady, emotionless, like a metronome of guilt. Then in month 4, the note changed. Still paying, still remember. Month 6, I know. We never spoke again, not really. No coffee catch-ups. No teary reunions. Just business. But I didn't need an apology, because everyone else did the talking for her. At a baby shower 2 months later, I walked in and Aunt Lacey handed me a mimosa with a sideways grin. "You're the one who sent the frame, huh?" She didn't say it with judgment. She said it with awe. Word had spread like wildfire. Apparently, someone's boyfriend caught the unwrapping moment on video. Every family function, someone whispered about it. Not the wedding, not the fallout, the gift. They said it was cold, brutal, stone-cold assassin-esque. But then they'd look at me different, with respect. Cheryl and my dad, Vince, went radio silent after Brielle brought them the receipts. No calls, no birthday text, nothing. It was like I'd been erased from the family tree. And you know what? That was the first time I breathed in years. Because once I stopped paying, I started living. But the silence didn't last everywhere. Slowly, cracks formed. A like on my Instagram post from Cousin Mel, who'd ghosted me for years. A random funny meme from Aunt Lacey, no message, just a digital olive branch. Lunch invites followed. Just catching up. Let's get coffee. They didn't mention the drama. But they all brought it with them like smoke clinging to their clothes. And every conversation ended the same way. "Okay, but that frame though. Iconic." And then came the twist I never expected. Ryan, Brielle's husband, the one who almost didn't marry her. He followed me on Instagram, liked one post, then another, then a third from 2 years ago. A family vacation photo. I didn't follow back, but I knew what it meant. He knew who actually funded their fairy tale, who got humiliated, who cleaned up the mess. The weirdest part? Brielle never threw the frame away. When they moved into their new rental outside Spokane, Cousin Paige helped them pack. She found the frame still wrapped in the original silver paper, tucked inside a box labeled fragile. She asked Brielle why she kept it. Brielle just shrugged and said, "Some debts deserve to be remembered." It started with a forwarded email. Subject line, "Checking in." It was from my dad, Vince, sent at 3:17 a.m., like he couldn't sleep. The message, "We're family, mistakes were made, let's sit down and talk." No mention of the fraud attempt. No mention of erasing me from the group chat. No reference to Mom's venomous text, "You'll regret what you started." Just a clean, sanitized olive branch. One problem, It came with conditions. Attached to the email was a PDF outline. Seriously, an outline. Beneath the heading Path to Reconciliation, they listed bullet points. Family therapy, just 3 sessions, non-negotiable. You must acknowledge the hurt you caused. We will all agree to avoid discussing the wedding publicly again. You will not share any more private financial information with extended family. The kicker. At the bottom, if all goes well, we can revisit your invitation to Thanksgiving. Revisit. Like I was a candidate up for review. I didn't reply. Instead, I forwarded the email to Brielle. Her reply came within minutes. I didn't know they were planning that, I'm sorry. Then she added, you don't owe them anything, not anymore. But Vince and Cheryl weren't done. 2 weeks later, I got a certified letter in the mail. Inside, a check for $500 and a post-it that read, a good faith gesture, family should forgive. I mailed it back, torn in half, with a copy of the fraud report I'd filed against Cheryl stapled to it. Then something shifted again. A new wave of messages came, but this time from unexpected places. My dad's sister, Aunt Renee, called. She hadn't spoken to me in 5 years, but she said she saw the frame. That people in the family needed to be reminded that respect costs something. She didn't say, I'm proud of you. But she didn't have to. The tone had changed. I was no longer the unstable sister. I was the one who drew the line and left it drawn. Meanwhile, Brielle kept paying. Every third of the month, right on time. Month 9's note said, I saw the contract in my dreams last night. Interest rate circled in red, still iconic. I almost laughed, almost. But it was month 10 that hit different. Her note was only 4 words. I see it now. No explanation. But I knew what she meant. That month, she posted an Instagram story of her and Jason sitting on their porch, holding mugs. Blankets over their knees. No captions, just soft music in the background and quiet peace. I didn't double tap, but I saw it. And that was enough. By the 12th payment, it was muscle memory. $237.65. No delay, no apology, no forgiveness. Then came a knock at my door. This time I opened it. It wasn't Brielle. It was Cheryl. No folder, no grocery bag. Just her standing there like I hadn't reported her for fraud 6 months ago. She started with, I've been thinking about what happened. I stood silent. Let her fill the silence with her noise. She rambled about therapy, reflection, how families go through hard seasons. Then she said it. If you could find it in your heart to remove the loan, it's causing tension. I almost laughed. Remove the loan? Like it was a calendar event. She said, you proved your point, but it's time to move on. I told her, it's not about the money anymore, it's about memory, and you don't get to rewrite mine. Then I shut the door. 2 weeks later, Brielle sent a picture. It was the frame, still in its silver wrapping, but now hanging above her desk. Caption, I keep it there to remind me, never trust people who expect you to stay quiet when they humiliate you. By the 1-year anniversary of the wedding that wasn't, the story had grown legs. A distant cousin from Boise asked me at a reunion, did you really take back the whole wedding? I didn't answer. She smiled and said, good. And then came the last twist. Jason and Brielle paid off the loan early. A lump sum in month 14, 2 months ahead of schedule, full principal, full interest, attached, a single note. We're closing the balance, but we'll never forget the cost. I framed that note. Put it right next to the original venue deposit, side by side. Because I didn't need to burn the whole family down. I just had to show them the match. And now, I sleep easy, I pay my own bills, I keep my receipts. I don't show up where I'm not invited. And when someone says, your family, you should help, I smile and ask, would you like that in writing?